माले कोई क्लिप है क्या लगाने वाला इसमें 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 हाँ हाँ वही लाओ जल्दी लाओ Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Hello, am I audible for you?
Yes, sir.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I can see Neha is joined, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Others yet to join.
Yes.
So can we wait for 2-3 minutes?
Sure.
Yes, good afternoon. Yeah, Lauren, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Still waiting for others to join. Am I audible clearly or shall I use headphone?
You are audible.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you text your friends?
Yes, sir.
Because time is limited. If you don't turn on time, that means we may not be able to complete on time. Okay, so shall we start?
Yes.
Yeah, shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Others to join, right? Because we may not wait. Time duration is limited only, right? So today, once again, welcome you back. We had 1 day gap in between, right? So I hope you have completed your first exercise, at least drawing simple molecules in ISIS draw. Yes, can I hear from you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Lauren. Lauren, have you completed your first exercise, at least drawing in ISIS draw? Yes, you are not audible. Lauren, okay, some technical problem is there. Okay, fine. Today, I'll be coming again to the softwares, another softwares. And last day, we had some technical issues. So actually, one attributes, one menu is not working properly in the softwares. I have checked manually also. So Thomas has joined. Welcome you, Thomas, once again. So today I'll be talking generally so that you may understand that why we are using why you have taken up this course, right? As I have given you last class some brief example of this computer-aided drug design. Why do we use? What is the importance of this? The main beauty of this technique is that it reduces the cost and time, right? Where we spend 12 to 15 years of time for synthesizing or bringing a drug into the market and spending 500, 600 billion dollars. And the other part, computer-aided drug design does it the same things in the weeks of times with more accuracy, right? So today, overall sketch I will be giving to you what actually we do in computer-aided drug design, right? Overall sketch so that you can understand. At least we have started this thing by sketching the molecule. So probably you will be having little idea that molecule is required. That's why we sketch the molecule. Molecule is required. So these molecules, it may be that small molecules or big molecules, right? Small molecules, we can draw it, right? Easily. But in the case of big molecules, we cannot draw it, right? Okay. But we can evaluate the structures, we can validate the structures, we can retrieve the structures, we can see the structure, we can visualize the structures, right? So big molecules, right? Everything, a part of that, we may not able to draw because small, big molecules, if we talk about big molecules, it may be the protein, it may be the RNA, DNA, right? And all proteins made up of 20 amino acids, our DNA, RNA made up of 4 base pairs, right? This, in case of DNA, RNA, 4 base pairs will be in repeating manners in a sequence, and even that protein, it will be the 20 amino acids will be arranged in repeating manners, right? And these amino acids are connected with the peptide bonds actually, right? Once we see that all amino acids are connected in peptide bonds, we can say the primary sequences, right? Primary sequences. All the amino acids are primary sequences, okay? When due to this interaction, due to the forming of peptide bonds between that amino acids, it will change their orientations or arrangement, right? In a dimensions, in either in 2 dimension or 3 dimension, because interaction is happening and all the amino acids having the different structures. I'll give you one assignment to you. Please just see the structures of all 20 amino acids. The structures of all 20 amino acids and structure of all 4 base pairs. DNA, RNA base pairs, structure only, right? Isn't it? So due to these interactions, and if we talk about the protein, due to these interactions, amino acid interactions, so the force is coming between the amino acids or something, right? And due to that, it will change their orientations. And even the case of the cysteine, one amino acid is called the cysteine, right? Yes. Cysteine have the sulfur atom attached with that cysteine. And due to that, two sulfur of the 2 cysteine forming the bonds, because since it's 2 sulfurs are there, it's called the disulfide bond. So one is forming the peptide bonds between the amino acids after removing the H2O, right? And the disulfide bonds. and we are exerting some force between this, and due to that amino acids is changing their positions. Not amino acids changing their positions, atom of the amino acids are changing their positions, right? Suppose we say the water have 3 atoms. So 3 atoms will change their positions. So amino acids at least probably having 10 to 15 atoms in each amino acids, if you say. Glycine is that smallest amino acids, right? And if you see that amino acid structures, all amino acids having one alpha carbon, chiral carbon, which is attached with the 4 different functional group. And what are the functional groups are there? COH, NH2, R, and H, right? Okay. So if R is H, that means glycine, smallest amino acids. So COH, NH2, and H will be the common for all amino acids. Only R will be changed. Alkyl, that group will be changed. R may be the methyl, maybe another functional group, and any other thing will be there. And we don't know, we don't have any idea about that, what will be the R, what will be the atoms of R, what type of interaction will be in R. So R having impact in forming the 3D structure also. So similarly, whatever that interaction will be there, due to that interactions, the structure will change their behaviors. Or atom will change their positions, right? And if it change their position in two dimension XY, it will be the 2D structure. If it change in 3-dimensional, it will be the 3D structure. Very simple concept. Is clear? Very simple concept. Am I audible clearly? Yes? Okay. So in biological term, sorry, in biological terms, this molecule is called that macromolecules. Big molecule is called the macromolecules, and small molecule is called the micromolecules. Okay, isn't it? For using this molecule, right? Some force is required for disturbing this molecule. Some force is required. Already you know then Newton's law of motions, right? Newton's second law of motions, moment of inertia, right? Because we have to use the molecule, we have to disturb the molecules, we have to take the molecule, right? We have to see the behaviors of the molecules, right? So for seeing the behaviors of molecules, we have to exert the force. Otherwise, the molecule will be in a static position. Do you think about? Right? Molecule will be in a static position, will not move. For disturbing, for seeing the movement and all, we have to exert that force, right? So second law of motion says that any object will remain in a static position until and unless we exert the external force, right? So for seeing the behaviors, drug behaviors into that disease site or target site, right? We need to exert the force, right? That will show their behaviors of the molecule. Yes? Okay. So that force, in physics term, we call that force. But in biological terms, we say the force field. Yes? What we say? Force field, right? Force field, right? FF. And the force field always will return the energy value of the molecule. Force field return, force field output, what will be the output? Force field output? Energy of the molecule, energy level of the molecule. And how it will represent? With different conformations. Because molecule will change their conformations. We have to torture the molecules, right? And it will change their orientations. their conformation will change, their shape will change, and each shape and conformation have their different energy level. It's clear, right? Okay. So always the force field in biological terms, it will return the energy. Yes, it's clear. So now it's very clear, in computer aided drug design we need molecule, and those molecules should be the either two molecules should be the small molecule, or two molecules should be the big molecules, or one molecule should be the small molecule and one molecule should be the big molecule, right? In general, in drug cases, we are seeing the interactions of drug. Drug is a small molecule, a small compound, right? Okay. And this drug interactions or behavior we are seeing on that disease side, receptor side. Receptor is either maybe the DNA, RNA, and protein, right? Drug is interacting on tissues and cells, showing, and drug also delivered through the tissues and cells, drug delivery systems, and drug also showing the effect on tissues and cells. That's how the bioinformatics is. Bioinformatics is a tools where we are understanding that how molecules work inside the cell and tissues, right? So these molecules will interact our cell and tissues, and cell and tissues have that protein, DNA, RNA, and other molecules, of course, right? So other molecule, DNA, RNA itself have their structure. Structure means whatever, if we talk about structure, those molecules have their atom, right? Always, right? Many atoms are connected with the bond that is forming the structures, right? Okay. And many others also will be there, right? Many other hydrocarbons, any other chemicals will be there, which will be interacting with the drugs, right? Okay. So here two possibilities are there. Two possibilities are there. If drug is interacting to the target side or receptor side, right? There are two possibilities are there only. Either that receptor will be known or receptor will be unknown. Is clear? Only two possibilities. Is clear? Receptor will be known, or receptor means, have you understood that, protein, or receptor will be unknown. When receptor is known, there are different methods to study the drug design. When receptor is unknown, there are other methods, different methods are there to design the drugs. Is clear? And third cases will be there also. There are many approaches are there where we design the drugs in case of where receptor will be known and unknown. Is clear? Receptor will be known and unknown. Okay. So first case, I will tell you the first case. If receptor is known, that means everything is known. Means we know that where drug is binding, right? What is the receptors of the drugs? What is the name of the receptors? What are the amino acids are interacting to the drugs? What other type of interactions are there in that drugs, or drug is interacting to that different, what type of atoms are responsible of that interactions with the drugs? These are the many questions are there, right? So all the questions have the solution because we know the target, we know the receptors, we know their binding site, where drugs actually work, that place, right? It's clear. Second scenario, second method, where target is not known, receptor is not known, then first thing is that we have to search the receptor. We have to find the receptor, right? There are many methods are there to find the receptors. right? There are many approaches are there to generate the receptor, to build the 3D receptors, the structures, right? First we generate the 3D structure, we find the 3D structure, then next step is that how structure is, what is the quality of the structure. Then we have to look into the quality of the structure. Once we will see the quality is good, then next step is that we have to validate the structures. There are different protocols are there to validate the structure. Once with all evidence, if we say that our structure is in good quality and it validated, then only we can take it for that designing the drugs. Is clear? Okay. So there are two approaches are two techniques are there for designing the drugs, right? So I have one slide. Actually, this is the basic slides where we always I introduce this slide, right, to each and every classes, so that exactly you will learn. Now we have only a few minutes in our hand, right, for this session. So I will show you that slide. Slide is visible for you.
Yes, sir.
Can I hear from you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So now you can see here that this is only one slide is there. My cursor is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now you can see here. I have so heading. You can see heading. Receptor structure. Receptor structure. Can you see?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is will be the case which I was talking about. The either it will be known and unknown. Yes. Where drug is acting, that place is called the receptor. Receptor may be the DNA, RNA, or protein, right? So that is the first case, that it may be the known and unknown, right? If known, right? If known, then the approaches which we will follow it up is called the structure-based drug design. If receptor is known, the approach which we will follow that is structure-based drug design. First method. Can you see here? Yes. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we need, what will be the requirement for this? One receptor is required, a part of the drug, a part of the chemical compound which we are drawing, right? So once we structure-based drug design, I'll be talking these things in detail. Don't worry, right? So in that structure-based drug design, this is the approaches are there to see the interactions of drugs, two molecules. It's called the docking, right? Docking is one of the approach where we see the interactions of two molecules. What is this docking? Docking is the approach where we see the interactions of the two molecules. And both the molecules are known, right? Small molecules is known, big molecules is known. Yes? Fine. And for doing this docking, there are different methods are there. These are the methods. First method is that molecular dynamic simulations. Suppose, right? Molecular dynamic simulation, it depends upon the Newton's law of motions, right? You know the Newton's law of motions, right? F equal to m into A, work done equal to F into S, and m into A, and already you know the velocity, displacement with respect to time, acceleration, change in velocity with respect to time, right? Isn't it? So molecular dynamic simulation always will be mapped with respect to any changes, right, with respect to time. And the changes will be that what? Positional change. Atomic positional change only. Are you getting on? It may be with the drugs or the receptors. Another approach is called the rigid docking. Rigid dockings, one of the molecule will be rigid. The two molecule cases I'm talking about, na? A small molecule, two small molecule, two big molecule, one small molecule, one big molecule. So rigid docking, rigid interaction will be that any of the molecules will be in rigid condition. It will not change their conformations. It will be the rigid. If binding site, if this is the protein, if their binding site is this one, you can see this one. It will be rigid, even though we are giving the force field and something. You cannot change it. It's a rigid, right? And actually, drug will change their conformation according to this binding site. And it will come and bind to this site. Drug will change because drug is feasible. I said here in rigid docking, any one of the molecule will be rigid. If suppose the drug is rigid, then receptor will change their conformation according to the drug rigidity for binding. Is clear? Right? And another approach is the flexible docking. Flexible docking is both the molecule will be flexible. Will change their conformation in the binding according to the active site. Is clear? All the simulation things I will be showing to you. Is clear?
Yes, sir.
Monte Carlo simulation is that, this is that random methods actually. And it is fully depends upon the heat and trial methods. We are disturbing the molecule. Each point of time, we are mapping the energy level of the molecule, stability of the molecules is coming. If it's coming up to the expected level, which we are giving as a cutoff value of the energy, we will take that conformation, otherwise we will reject it. It's clear? These all are the heat and trial methods. Right? Both the molecules, we will be disturbing heat and trial method always. We will give some external force, right? We will change the behaviors, right? You might have seen like, we are like, throwing the ball, right? Hitting the wall, right? Isn't it? And you can see that harmonic motions. This is the one example, beautiful example of harmonic motion. Monte Carlo simulation, right? Okay. And simulated annealing also one of the methods where we use this technique to see the behaviors of the molecules. In terms of the first, we will provide the temperature to the system at a stream level. Suppose the highest level 400 degrees centigrade. After 400 degrees centigrade, slowly we will reduce the temperature or we will stop the temperature, right? Then we will see that slowly how it's coming to that energy level, stability. Slowly it's, because temperature it will get reduced. Simple example is, right? We will boil egg, right? Boil the egg. We'll give like 100 degree centigrade, right? After that, we'll switch off the stove. And then we will see the behaviors of the egg in reducing temperature. Slowly in reducing temperature. Are you getting or not? Okay, isn't it? So I just I'll give you one little funny story about this. One psychologist, right? Always he was boiling egg on the one vessels. So always he was seeing that in 100 degree centigrade, he was keeping the egg on the vessels and seeing 3 minutes watch, wristwatch. Seeing the 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, switching off that stop, right? One day what he did, he has poured his wristwatch on the vessels, right? And was seeing the egg, right? Right. Okay. So this was that, seeing the behavior so in that. So it is like a funny story. And another method is called that quantum mechanics method, mechanical approaches. Quantum mechanical approaches where we see that all the atomic behaviors generally we use for the small molecule, right? The molecules which have that less than 100 atoms. And the quantum mechanics always based on that, what do you say that based on that Schrodinger equations already, right? Quantum mechanics, Schrodinger equations.
in terms of the wave functions, right? So the quantum will be in terms of the wave. So just you understand here, the behaviors of a small molecule we are seeing by using the quantum mechanics approach, right? Now you come to that another approaches is called that where receptor will be the known and unknown. Okay. If known and unknown, the approach is called the analog based drug design. Analog based drug design is called the ligand based drug design. Here we say the structure based drug design, and here we say the analog based drug design. Analog based drug design is called that ligand based drug design. Okay, another terms also are there. The structure based drug design is called the direct design. Direct drug design. Structure based drug design is called that direct drug design methods. And analog based or ligand based drug design is called that indirect drug design method. It's called that indirect drug design method. Is clear? So now, in this case, ligand based drug design case or analogs based drug design case, either receptor will be known and unknown. And their requirement will be this. In this case, their requirement will be the lead compounds and derivatives with the biological data should be there in this ligand based drug design. Is clear? Lead compound means the best molecule. Are you getting or not? Like we are making tea, right? After making tea, we are filtering the tea and taking the extract out and the tea out separate, and we are drinking the tea. So tea is drinkable, right? Tea we can take it. So like that, lead will be that we will refine or filter the drug like a molecule, which must show the drug like properties, which can be consumed. That is called the lead molecule. And lead molecules comes based on the filtration method. Is clear? High throughput screening method, later stage we will be talking about this all. So derivatives and biological data. So for analog based drug design, this is the QSAR. One approaches are there. Quantitative structure activity relationship. Right? Where we are mapping the biological response, drug response based on their properties. Is clear? That is called that QSAR. I will be talking about these things in detail later stage, right? So QSAR also is defined in this way. Like this is one of the mathematical functions which correlate wide variety of physiochemical properties, structural properties with that biological response, biological activity. Is clear? You may write it also. QSAR is a mathematical equations which correlate wide variety of structural properties with biological response, biological activity, right? So where this analogs based drug design fully depends upon this QSAR approach. In QSAR approach, these are the techniques we use. PSS, PCA, principal component analysis we use. Yes. Is my screen visible for you?
No, sir.
No, sir.
I don't know, it has gone. I think some time bonds is there. This is extra time is running. I think for 30 minutes only we can show that slide. Okay. So anyway, in G class, Google class, I will be posting this slide today. Now itself, you can see. So another approaches is the ANN methods are there. artificial neural network methods are there, where we are predicting the biological activity based on the properties, existing properties, right? And ANN already possibly you know, you are in second year. ANN having 3 layers. This is actually machine learning approach, right? So first input layer will be there, and hidden layer will be there, and the output layer will be there. Input layer, only all the input descriptors will be there, input properties will be there. And hidden layer having some weight. That is that hidden. And that weight is multiplied with the input of that input, whatever the input, each input. And with this all entire input will give the output. If output will be the expected, then it will go to the output layer. Otherwise, it will send to that input layer. That is called the back propagation methods. If it goes to the output layer, it's called that feed forward methods. So that depends upon that. Later we will be talking about this, right? Isn't it? Another method is called the pharmacophore methods in QSAR. This is called the 3D QSAR methods. In the pharmacophore methods, where we see that all the atomic orientation into the receptor site, target site. All atomic orientation into the target site alone. So this is one of the pharmacophore 3D QSAR methods. And some 2D QSAR methods are there. And we was talking about the principal component analysis, where wide variety of variations of the descriptors will be there, where we will be reducing their dimensionality so that everything should be in one line. That's why we use the PCS and all, right? And genetic algorithms are there also. One of the approaches which we use in QSAR, where we use for the optimizing the drugs, genetic algorithm, right? Based upon that, some deletion method, insertion methods, some other methods we use, right? So these are the approaches one by one we'll be talking in during the entire certificate course, right? So now I'll come to the softwares which was remain. If I could share the screen, right? So now you can see here, I'll give you the within 2-3 minutes are there. This ISIS draw, new shares. Yeah, you can see here, screen. Yes?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I'll just quickly, I will take one template here, template aromatic ring. So I have taken this ring. So now here I'll put it, this ring, you can see the ring, right?
Yes, sir.
Simply you control C, you do the control C, copy, right? Control C, because it's selected. You can see that dots are there. That means this structure is selected. Or you can say the control A before doing the control C. So control C, copy. Or you can use the edit option here also. Cut, copy, right? Control C. Now you open the another KMSK softwares. I'll be sharing the KMSK softwares again. Again, KMSK, still copy it here in ISIS draw. Now KMSK, you go to the KMSK softwares, share it. Share it. What you have to do it here, this is little complex. That's why I didn't introduce to you, because you are in agri background or some BTech second year student, right? Here only what you have to do it, you go to the structure, edit. Once you copy there in ISIS draw, right? You go here in edit, go to the paste, write the step please, paste and structure, right? It's clear. Click the structure. Now that structure, now you can see the template is here. I'm rotating here. Can you see? Yes? Yes and no? Right. I have put it like here, right? Once I put it, you do that 3D optimization here. 3D optimization, last corner is there. 3D optimization. You do the 3D optimization. It is optimized. Hydrogen has been attached to that each atoms for optimizing purpose. And then take it into the 3D window. Take into 3D. Now you can see the 3D structure. Again, you can optimize it. See, the atom has changed their position. Their conformation has changed. Yes. Here what you have to do it, go to the file, save as option, and the save is in mol format, MOL mol format. Make some directory, something in your desktop or somewhere, some small, you say the mol file, and give the name 1 mole. Suppose one is structure here. In this